So, I don't know how many of you guys have been following the news out of New York City. They're currently having like the New York City mayor race. Basically, people are, trying to compete, in the upcoming elections for the opportunity to be the mayor of New York City. And there is a Democratic socialist who's getting a lot of traction for the Democratic Party. Like they just won the Democratic Party nomination. So they are the representative for the Democratic Party in this mayoral race. And that is Mamdani. I always forget how to pronounce his first name. I think it's Zohran Mamdani. If I pronounce that wrong, please correct me. You guys know I butcher names. That's the thing that I do. But Zohran Mamdani getting a lot of traction over there, and the Republicans are freaking out about it. More specifically, Donald Trump seems to be at a little bit of a war with words with this guy, and he's using a lot of tactics that we've seen before whenever he sees, someone on the other side of the political aisle that he takes issue with. So I wanted to go over this, but one of the big things that comes out of this is that he basically threatens to arrest this guy if he refuses to cooperate with ICE raids in New York City, which is something that apparently Mamdani has publicly stated that he plans to do. So yeah, he's threatened to arrest him if he refuses to comply. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's just go ahead and let's dive into this video here, and we'll give our thoughts as we go along. So here we go.
The political feud between Zohran Mamdani and Donald Trump is
okay, so I did say it right. Zohran Mamdani. Got it.
reaching new heights as both continue to trade sharp elbows.
A Republican senator called on Trump to deport him. Yeah, this is one of those. Remember how I said that, this is, Trump is engaging in, common tactics that we've seen before? Some of you guys may remember back when Barack Obama was running for president and when he had won the election and stuff, there was some, basically conspiracy theory, tinfoil hat, thing going around where he wasn't born here. He was born in Kenya and he's not a legal citizen. And, you probably heard that before. Well, guess who started that? I didn't know this at the time, but later on, as I kind of looked into this stuff, I was like, oh, they started that shit. Donald Trump. Donald Trump was the one who started that shit. And we're seeing something similar here with Zohran Mamdani, where basically Republicans, including Trump, are spreading misinformation that they're not a legal citizen to the country and they need to be deported. And yeah, that's a thing that's happening. Yeah, Donald Funky Trump, because apparently he doesn't seem to think that Hawaii is an actual state. Yeah, it's the guy who wanted to, run for president of the United States didn't know that Hawaii was a fucking state. What an idiot. But anyway, let's continue.
Elbows ahead of the New York City mayoral election. Mamdani, who is a Democratic Socialist and state assembly member, recently secured the nomination for New York City mayor, defeating former Governor Andrew Cuomo in a major upset.
Obviously, people in leftist spaces are really excited about this because this is the first time we've really seen someone who's a socialist, in this case, a Democratic socialist, really get some traction. We've been wanting for the longest time to see someone either get into the Democratic Party that has socialist views or potentially have a socialist party actually get some kind of traction. And so this is the closest thing we've really seen to that, and the amount of excitement around Mamdani has been incredible to witness. So really hoping he wins New York City, and hopefully that starts a sort of trend of seeing more Democratic socialists get some actual traction in the Democratic Party or in politics in this country.
Since then, he's become a prominent target for President Donald Trump, who's unleashed a series of personal and political attacks. In fact, last week, President Trump called him a 100% communist lunatic and claimed his win marked a dangerous shift within the Democratic Party.
Yeah, Republicans are freaking out so much about Mamdani. They are scared shitless about this guy and what his traction. You may look at this on the surface and be like, oh, it's just the New York mayor. Who cares? How much could that possibly affect, the rest of the country? But this has real, potential. If, this guy wins and he does good things for the city of New York, People might start looking at other like democratic socialists and saying, hey, maybe they're onto something here. Maybe we should elect these people in other parts of the country to help out with a lot of the issues that this country is struggling with. So that's why Republicans are so scared of this, because with the level of attention that this guy is getting, it could make some serious waves in the political shift in this country.
They're worried that somebody that, like this communist from New York, someday gets elected. I can't believe that's happening. That's a terrible thing for our country, by the way. He's a communist. We're going to go to a communistic...
Notice he doesn't have anything like negative to say about him. His only go-to is, he's a communist. Like, he doesn't have actually any criticism of his policies or anything like that. You know, the communists, the Red Scare worked in the past in America, and like Donald Trump's just trying to play the Red Scare playbook again. That's what's happening here. But he doesn't have any valid criticisms of any of his political policies or anything. It's just, he's a communist.
That's so bad for New York, but the rest of the country is revolting against it.
President Trump then also...
I don't know. I'm seeing a lot of excitement all over the country from, you know, people who are like really excited to see what this Mamdani dude does.
mocked Mamdani's appearance, intelligence, and voice, grouping him with left-wing figures like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Senator Chuck Schumer. In a social...
I mean, I don't know if necessarily like grouping him in with AOC is like a bad thing. Personally, I think AOC is pretty fucking base, but that's just me.
Media post, the president wrote, quote, "We've had radical lefties before, but this is getting a little ridiculous."
Radical lefties. That's insane. That's fucking insane.
Tensions intensified when Mamdani pledged to resist ICE raids in New York City, vowing to stop masked agents from deporting immigrants.
Fucking based. Fucking based. We need more people like this man in this country. Okay, because what we're seeing right now with these mass deportations, these just completely like, you know, off the cuff, without warning, just very like, you know, random ICE raids, deporting people to countries they didn't even come from, deporting people who are actually following the legal process to obtain citizenship, all this shit. Like, this is fascism. I've talked about this before in previous streams where, you know, a lot of people, whether they were on the right or they're like centrist types or whatever, they would just kind of roll their eyes when lefties would say fascism is coming to America. Oh, you're being like overly dramatic or whatever. But no, this is literally it. We are watching it happen right now. I mean, just recently, actually, let me pull up a tweet that I posted recently. Just recently, you know, right now, the big thing that the Republicans are celebrating and applauding is Alligator Alcatraz, they call it, out of Florida. It's this, like, basically deportation camp that they built in Florida. And they're, like, praising it. And I gotta tell you, it kind of looks familiar. It looks like something we've seen before in history. So here's Alligator Alcatraz. You know, this is they're celebrating this. Literal, like, cages made to store people with cramped bunk areas, right? And the Republicans are excited about this. And so I quote tweeted this tweet with my thoughts on it. I basically said, why does this look familiar? And I shared some images of concentration camps in the Holocaust. And I gotta say, there's a lot of similarities from what we seen then and what we're seeing now. It's almost like the lefties were right and fascism has come to America. Right?
And asked during a press briefing about Mamdani's remarks, President Trump said, well, then we'll have to arrest him.
Soon, Zohran Mamdani, who in his nomination
speech
said
this is an authoritarian dictatorship right here. Basically, anybody who politically opposes me, it's just like just arrest them, silence them.
will defy ICE and will not allow ICE to arrest criminal aliens in New York City. Your message to communist Zohran Mamdani?
Well, then we'll have to arrest him. Look,
the fact that he says it so nonchalant, that is fucking bizarre. That is fucking unreal. Like, he says it as if it's like no big deal. We'll just arrest him. You know, we've seen already where, like, political opponents of the Republican Party are being detained for speaking up against ICE. We've covered a couple of those examples on my stream in the past. And now we have Donald Trump, like, literally saying this guy that's running for mayor of New York, if he wins New York, that, if he defies, or refuses to cooperate with ICE, that he's going to be arrested. And then apparently he's also saying that, like, if Mamdani wins, he's going to refuse to provide federal funding to New York City. This is a dictatorship. This is an authoritarian dictatorship. This is fascism.
We don't need a communist in this country, but if we have one, I'm going to be watching over him very carefully on behalf of the nation.
Now, the president did not stop there. He also questioned Mamdani's citizenship, falsely implying that he might be in the country illegally.
See, it's the same thing we've seen with, he's done this to Obama. I can't remember any specific examples, but I know he's done this to other people in the past as well. But yeah, let's question, with no evidence whatsoever, let's question the legitimacy of his immigration status, claim that he's an illegal immigrant and that he needs to be deported. This is a violation of the U.S. Constitution. This is political backlash and attacking his political opponents. I mean, yeah, absolutely. Like, this is utter insanity. Like, our country is in such a bizarre state right now that other countries around, around the world look at us like we're a bunch of fucking clowns. And it's all because of Donald Trump and his, administration full of yes men dipshits.
But in reality, Mamdani was born in Uganda, moved to the United States at age 7, and became a naturalized citizen in 2018.
We're going to be watching that very carefully, and a lot of people are saying he's here illegally. We're going to look at everything, and ideally, he's going to turn out to be much less than a communist. But right now, he's a communist. That's not a socialist.
After the president's remarks, Mamdani quickly hit back on social media, accusing Trump of using intimidation to silence dissent.
Oh, absolutely.
The president of the United States just threatened to have me arrested, stripped of my citizenship, put in a detention camp and deported. Not because I have broken any law, but because I will refuse to let ICE terrorize our city. We will not accept this intimidation.
Fucking based. Fucking based. We need more people on the left that stand up against Trump and his bullshit fucking administration like this guy. This is why this guy is getting so much attention right now and so much traction in his, run for mayor of New York. Because we need more people like this. And I'm hoping that not only does this guy win, but this guy creates like a domino effect of seeing more democratic socialists get traction throughout this country. Because that's what we need right now.
And the Trump administration appears to be doubling down. White House Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt said that allegations raised by Congressman Andy Ogles against Mamdani should, in fact, be investigated if true.
This Congressman Andy Ogles, he wants the Attorney General Bondi to explore denaturalization proceedings because...
Jesus. They are trying anything. Like, they're literally, like, throwing shit at the wall to see what sticks. How can we get rid of this guy? This guy is, like, really hurting us, the Republican Party, and our, potential to, like, really, like, take, full-on leadership of this country. How do we get rid of this guy? They're so desperate. They're so scared.
Because he thinks Mamdani could have misrepresented or concealed material support for terrorism based on rap lyrics he wrote in 2017. Does President Trump think this is a worthwhile use of the Attorney General's time?
Well, I'll let the president speak to that. I have not seen those claims, but surely if they are true, it's something that should be investigated.
And
meanwhile,
what are these rap lyrics? I have to look this up. They're now calling him out for rap lyrics. First of all, how old was Zohran Mamdani? How old was Zohran Mamdani in 2017? So, let's see. So, how old is he now, actually? How old is Zohran Mamdani? Does anybody know how old he is? He's 33 right now. So, someone do the math. How old would he have been in 2017? I'll be honest. I'm bad with math. So, but he couldn't have been that old to begin with. But Zohran Mamdani rap lyrics. This is what I want to know. What were these rap lyrics? So apparently he was writing rap music. Denaturalization over rap lyrics. Let's see. Trying to find this. Where are the lyrics? Where's Zohran from? Blah blah blah. Where's the rap lyric? I just want to hear the rap lyrics. I can't seem to find anything on these rap lyrics. If anybody can find it, I'm gonna keep the video playing, but I'm gonna keep looking for these because I want to see these rap lyrics.
Mamdani continues to draw national attention for his unapologetic stance on immigration, economic justice, and Palestinian rights. His critics accuse him of extremism, while his supporters call him a necessary voice for working class communities and immigrants.
One of the things that we New Jerseyans share with the Yorkers is that we're inspired by the victory by Zohran Mamdani this past week. And it really shows that a positive, energetic campaign can triumph over the decrepit establishment.
As the campaign heats up, the stakes are in fact growing. And with President Trump now hinting at federal investigations and even denaturalization, the battle over New York's future and what kind of leadership it will accept is far.
Is this what they're referring to? I found this awkward moment, Zohran Mamdani's 2019 rap video played during CNN interview. Is this what this is about? Let's see.
Assembly for 4 years. And before that, he was an aspiring rapper under the name Mr. Cardamom. Listen.
Oh, gosh.
Once you do it, it's out there. It never comes back. It's there.
Didn't think it was going to be on CNN.
It's there, and there it is.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean,
He's been in New York.
We didn't hear the full song, but there you go. Okay. I guess.
From over.
First post now available in 9
Would have been 25 years old. Gotcha.
languages on YouTube.
Okay, so that pretty much does that coverage there. But yeah, that's what we've resorted to now. We're now threatening to arrest people who are political opponents of Donald Trump. And we've already seen a few examples of this, two of which we've covered on the channel, where people who are political opponents of the Republican Party have been detained or arrested as a result of basically opposing the views of the Republican Party when it comes to the subject of mass deportation in their immigration policy. So, yeah, that's kind of what we're looking at now. It's pretty bleak, but I think that Mamdani getting as much traction as he is right now, I think it's a good sign. I think it could later, contribute to a potential domino effect of seeing, more socialist, views picking up traction in the United States, which I think could be a good thing. So let's fingers crossed that that's what we're headed towards if this guy wins, and also if he, does good things for the city. So there you go.